Aloha, y'all. It is Saturday, Saturn's Day, hence the name, the 26th of March. It is the following astrology. Sun is in Aries at 5 degrees 47 minutes. The moon is in Capricorn at 22 degrees. Mercury's in Pisces at 28 degrees. Venus is in Aquarius at 19 degrees. Mars is in Aquarius at 15 degrees. Jupiter's in Pisces at 20 degrees. Saturn's in Aquarius at 21 degrees, conjunct Venus. Uranus is at Taurus at 12 degrees. Neptune's at Pisces at 23 degrees. Pluto's at Capricorn 28 degrees. And the North Node is at Taurus at 23 degrees. Today is a third eye, or Ashna Chakra day. The Ashna Chakra is located between the brows in metaphor or theory. We do have a reptilian eye in our brain that didn't develop that is light and photonically sensitive, but this is more about the pituitary gland, so to speak. So the keywords are intuition, mysticism, and understanding. Positive aspects are highly intuitive, faithful, clear-sighted, integrous, and orderly minded. Negative aspects are the inability to trust your intuition, scattered mind, inconsiderate, and blinkered vision. The mantra is Om, so just like the traditional kind of Om, that's going for the third eye. Do that in the key of A. Spiritual activities include reflection, contemplation, meditation, creative use of your imagination. Essential oils are camphor, sweet pea, and heliotrope. The plant is almond blossom. Metal is silver. Element is the cosmos. Crystals are sapphire, lapis lazuli, and tanzanite. And soul lesson is detachment and intuition. So on this Saturn's day, we're going to be turning on our intuition. Let's go ahead. Got a little sniffle. I got cold last night, and possibly rainy here in Costa Rica. And when I say cold, my God, that's relative. But there is something about wet air that's a little more cold. It's not dry, as they say. So let's go ahead and get a card for the day. Hopefully y'all are doing well. I'd love to know where y'all are watching from. Always fascinating to my Gemini, double Gemini mind. We've got the Ace of Swords. This is the gladiatorial beginning. Swords, if you don't know, are the air sign. It's the mind, representative of the mind, thinking, logic, clear-mindedness, and it's ironic it was saying that was the positive aspects of the ajna, right? Clear-sightedness with the third eye. So the ace is the beginning of the journey of the mind, if you want to put it that way, and the signs that most correlate to this are Gemini, like myself, Libra, and Aquarius, the air signs. So, Ace of Swords, opportunity to hone your highest intellect, right? Saturn in Aquarius on a Saturn's day, we can really hone our intellects. Learn new ways to reach your true potential and embody a powerful philosophy. I just watched an interesting Andy Warhol's Diaries on Netflix, kind of documentary series. Interesting artist, but yeah, kind of embodying a powerful philosophy is kind of what his whole deal was. Ace of Swords, I live through my highest values. North Node in Taurus, right? Capricorn moon. The time has arrived for a significant breakthrough, the creation of a conscious, intentional space in which to have a powerful insight. Conscious understanding brought to a particular issue is expanded with a clear, unique thought or new inner voice. The result is rejuvenating, a fresh new beginning or approach to life with a renewed vision of your purpose, right? So we're going to start seeing more clearly. I can see clearly now through my third eye. And your creative kind of mentality. Swords, Ace of Swords. In this artwork, a sword is seen floating in the space of pure potential beyond the golden circle through which the matrix of life is seen. This ancient Celtic blade, weathered by time and circumstance, points upwards, intersecting the sacred geometry of Metatron's cube. Its field of high vibrational frequencies ripple out through the chord, throughout creation. Sorry, I skipped a line. I was like, through the chord? What chord? Throughout creation. The sword, which represents intelligence, appears to sever the umbilical cord that joins the golden fetuses floating in the distance, streaked in the dancing filament of lights. Male and female ancestral lines of limited being in the world are being severed, right? We're leaving that which no longer serves us. We're cutting the cord, starting anew. The Ace of Swords calls upon you to cut away anything that does not move you towards your highest potential and service in the world. It invites the birth and collaboration of all your intelligences so you can live in the full force field of your life. Advanced brain mapping technologies can visually illustrate the different types of intelligence, overturning the long-held notion of innate preferences of left versus right hemispheric intelligence. For instance, the theory of multiple intelligences aims to broaden the definition so it reflects the many ways people think, learn, and act. This is a different way of thought than unified general intelligence or IQ, when you take an IQ test. Take a contemporary dancer, for example. Their agility, skill, strength, and precision could be said to have a combination of bodily kinesthetic and visual spatial intelligences. Someone like David Bowie, which is what they're going to talk a lot about in this deck, the Starman Tarot. David DeAngelis, and now probably his wife, Esther DeAngelis, who wrote the Little Blips, I think. David's been on the podcast a few times. I'm going to get Esther on and have them do a husband-wife thing at some point. Shout out to them. Bowie, then, would have a predominant musical, rhythmic, and harmonic intelligence with an acute sensitivity to musical components and pitch. Combine this with the aforementioned intelligences, and you get an artist with a high verbal linguistic intelligence and existential intelligence. You can hear it through his striking lyrics, which lit up the creative heart of so many people throughout his long career. This card indicates an opportunity for powerful focus. Hone all of your intelligences. In the spirit of great teamwork, very Mars and Venus in Aquarius, Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. Hone your intelligence in the spirit of great teamwork to work towards a vision of yourself, releasing your highest potential flow and radiance. Consider fresh ways of understanding, organizing, and articulating the expressions of your sense of purpose. You can achieve anything you desire. Ace of Swords, the opportunity to hone your highest intellect, learn new ways to reach your true potential, and embodying a powerful philosophy. So that's the kind of energy of this Saturn's day. And with the third eye being the chakra, it's not terribly coincidental that we have this ability. With Neptune conjunct Mercury, there's this kind of like, oh my gosh, which way do I focus? And it's like, you know what? Any which way you point, and if you really think about it deep and long, hard, Saturn conjunct Venus in Aquarius, you can actually create that value in the world. You can actually see clearly through the third eye, right? So Ace of Swords. Let's go ahead and get a clarifying card. It's hard when the dog, I woke up at 1:44 a.m. to, dogs barking ridiculously. It's just like, keeps you on edge. I'm really a cat person. It's like, oh, no, nobody's trying to break in. So we got the Nine of Cups as the clarifier, and with Mercury conjoined Neptune, I'm pretty sure they're still conjunct. Yeah, I said that earlier. Written it down, Pisces, and well, they're loosely conjunct. Mercury's at 28 degrees Pisces, and Neptune's at 23. So the conjunction isn't like the last moments of it, but we still have that as a conjunction, technically, 5-degree orb in my estimations. So we have this ability to see new visions, all this Aquarius energy, Saturn conjunct Venus conjunct Mars, getting a lesser orb, but they're still conjunct. So that's this energy. And then we are also seeing the energy of Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces, Mercury and Pisces. The Nine of Cups, though, if you're a cup, you're a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. And the Nine of Cups as the clarifier is as follows. I am lavished by the good things in life. You wouldn't think that looking at the Kraken. It's lavish. He's like, oh, look, a meal. I got all these sailors to eat today. Declaring your intentions, attracting good fortune, celebration free of guilt and regret, and seeing a project to completion. So I think we're completing projects, completing perspectives of ourselves, and then entering a new domain of vision for our lives towards what? Value and longevity, something we want to be known for, something we want to have, it doesn't even about fame so much as, something that can bring money and stability and joy, right, to our lives through new ways of thinking, through fullness of being, through celebration, right? And we can really kind of open up on the Saturn's day, because Saturn is about structure. Saturn's Capricorn ruled. Saturn's day is going to be about like, where are you crossing the T's and dotting the I's? This is very Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. But why are we doing it? There's a reason why, to bring value in the world. Nine of Cups, North Node in Taurus. And to dream big, Jupiter and Pisces. But we need to see that dream articulated. We can't just daydream it, while away the day, as they say. So, as these dogs do their thing, let's go ahead and get an animal oracle card. Speaking of animals, speak of the devils. We got the song line, the orca. I'm just gonna do that. Put these back. All right. So orca is 30, and this is some Jupiter and Pisces stuffs. Mercury conjunct Neptune and Pisces. It's like they're singing clearly their song. And this is the song of your DNA, right? Your ancestors are in your DNA. Song lines. You are walking in the bloodlines of your ancestors, but you are an individual who makes your own destiny, right? So on the one hand, Saturn conjunct Venus in Aquarius, we really are Capricorn moon, the culmination of the material dream, I guess you could say, of our past. Like we're the propagation of the past into the future. That's the present moment in our blood, genetic speaking. But you are an individual, so you're both a part of a collective. And North Node of Taurus, an individual yourself of value. So seek better communications with family, nourish yourself, and exercise extreme self-care. Moon in Capricorn is like, am I doing the best I can for myself emotionally? Share your skills with others. That is some Saturn and Aquarius stuffs. Mythos, the Inuit mythos. In Inuit mythos, Sedna was a beautiful maiden who refused marriages arranged by her father, instead preferring to commune with nature. Her father had enough of this disobedience and married her off to the very next hunter who came along, a man who offered much fish to the family. How Moon in Capricorn. It's like, you know what? I need to feel good and have my coffers full of fish, so I'm going to hustle my daughter for this. Knowing his daughter would resist because Saturn and Aquarius, right? I'll fight the system. Sedna's father gave her a sleeping potion, very Mercury Neptune conjunct. Let's drug her and cause her mind to be blinkered. Have that blinkered vision. Shut her eyes. Gave her a sleeping potion to drink, and she awoke far from home in the company of her new husband. Right? She was on a new mental terrain. The trouble was, and here's the problem, right? Always is sometimes. The trouble was, this man was not a man at all, but a great petrel spirit bird that had disguised his true form. Neptune in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, right? Like great magic was afoot. Sedna found herself sitting in a giant nest surrounded by thousands of screeching birds, kind of like these dogs barking, with no way home. She cried out so loudly in fear and anger that her father heard her. He sailed his canoe over the vast icy sea to rescue her from the nest. Sedna and her father were pecked by angry birds as they began to paddle away, and the spirit bird whipped up a fierce storm that threatened to capsize their small vessel. A fierce storm, as imitated in this art with the Kraken, capsizing their vessel. That's a bigger vessel, clearly. They're like in a canoe. Or a kayak, maybe. In his fear, Sedna's father pushed her overboard, hoping this would placate the bird husband and save his own life. That is some Capricorn moon shit. It's like, me first and the gimme gimmies. It's a ska band's name, but it's like, you know what? I'm doing what I gotta do to be on top here. I want to win at all costs. Sedna managed to grasp the side of the canoe to stop, so it is a canoe, to stop herself from sinking. Right, she's being very kind of Saturn and Aquarius, using her head, Ace of Swords, kind of trying to think on her feet. But in his panic, her father cut off her fingers and she sank to the underworld of the ocean. There she grew a fish's tail and became the mistress of all, Jupiter in Pisces, right? Great water magic. Her cut fingers transformed into beautiful sea mammals such as seals and whales, which are integral to the survival of all Inuit. Her guardians, the orcas, were her messengers and told of her to others. So they sang her watery song, Mercury and Neptune. Sedna grants hunters upon the ocean a successful hunt, without which they could be in extreme hardship or even die. She provides nourishment in this unforgiving environment if a hunt is unsuccessful. After all, there are no rich pastures or supermarkets to fall back on in the Arctic. Sedna is seen in her shadow aspect as vengeful, so hunters are very Saturnian, right? Pluto in Capricorn. So hunters give gifts and songs to her, North Node of Taurus, as they set out on their boats. In Sedna's myths, good stewardship of the ocean's finite resources is necessary, and taboos, South Node in Scorpio, are upheld to underline this, a lesson we could all do well to maintain. Right, so if you treat the ocean well, reminds me of there was a song, kind of a Beach Boys-y thing from Sesame Street when I was a kid. I saw it's like, love, 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 love the ocean. Da, da, da. So we gotta love the ocean. And when you do, North Node and Taurus, you're rewarded for your valuing it. The orca is an iconic sea creature that has fired our human imagination for millennia. Written about by the ancient Greeks and Romans, I'm surprised they knew of orcas, quite frankly, since they're in kind of colder waters typically. The orca is part of the mythos and spirituality of a number of cultures. Siberian, Pacific Northwest, Newfoundland, indigenous peoples all depict the orca. See, those are pretty cold climes. All depict the orca as being integral to their spiritual beliefs and art. They honor the killer whale, especially in family or clan worship, Saturn and Aquarius, and it is still part of their culture today. They respect the big dolphin. It's not even a whale. The animal. Orcas look very distinctive. Their black and white skin is immediately recognizable. Their 50 interlocking, inward-leaning teeth are perfectly designed for hunting and echolocation, and it's estimated that a fully grown orca will consume about 200 kilograms of food per day. They are highly effective hunters, thus the term killer whale, and they hunt in highly organized pods. Venus and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius. While these members of the dolphin family are incredible physically, it is what scientists are just beginning to learn about their culture that is so interesting. Orcas live in marilineages, meaning they stay in matriarchal lines. Great-grandmothers, grandmothers, mothers, and daughters, all with calves, travel in one very stable matriline that is usually around 5 generations deep. A number of matrilines make up a pod that comes and goes freely. All members of the pod use the same set of sounds and songs. It is their own dialect, Mercury and Neptune, Saturn and Aquarius. This language is an important part of the bonding of these families and in finding each other in difficult conditions. The final grouping in a number of pods coming together is what scientists call a clan. When clans come together loosely, it's called a community, and while clans share similar languages and ancestry, communities don't share languages, but do share territory. So the commonalities, you're still unified, even though the separation and distinction is rather stark the further out you go, even within this large dolphin social network. For all their savage reputation, there's never been a fatal attack by an orca in the wild. That's something to note. You don't have to be afraid of these guys. In fact, the only recorded fatalities have occurred with captive orcas, and it is not known whether these deaths were accidental or deliberate attempts by the whales to cause harm. They're probably like, fuck this, I'm tired of this, I'm out of here. Saturn's day, right? It's like time to break out of the cage. Saturn and Aquarius. Wild orcas have actually been recorded as being very friendly and cooperative with humans, assisting them to hunt, giving us the leg up. The moon in Capricorn, helping us take advantage of our surroundings and thrive, North Node in Taurus. The magic, which is why we're all here. Orca magic can be raised by singing your own song by the sea. It is a feminine magic that can be used to help heal breaches in family relationships. Orca magic is also one that asks for self-care and nourishment. If you're feeling weak in your physical body or mind, especially with issues of vitality or endurance, the power of the orca can be called upon as an ally. Symbology: woman underwater with a fish's tail, woman with a spirit bird, woman in orca, black curved dorsal fin. Their status is endangered, which is sad, so the movie Free Willy was kind of trying to bring awareness to the fact that these guys, not happy when caged, and they do want to jump over, this even looks like Free Willy jumping over the rocks at the end there. They do want to jump, I guess it would be more like that, right? They do want to jump out and be free, and do their wilding out in the oceans, like this Kraken. So what we need to do is really see ourselves in a new way, right? Perspective, Ace of Swords is the card of the day. See through a new third eye, unobstructed, really, and know that everything is exactly where it needs to be. Nine of Cups, you're actually a part of a very benevolent reality. Doesn't mean it's without hardships. I mean, but look how much energy and momentum has carried you to this place, in your blood even, DNA-wise, and sing a song of gratitude for that, right? Really kind of be grateful, and it can be kind of hard, I guess, in this day and age to just smell the roses, because we have like 45 NFT roses coming at your face, and buy now or they're gone, and maybe they'll be invaded, or all this kind of stuff. So we got to kind of take a chill pill and restructure on this Saturn's day, moon in Capricorn, restructure our emotional lives to better suit the song of the sea, which is where we evolved from at some level. The song of the sea being plenty. There is no lack, right? We have to have a new perspective. abundance, abundance, abundance. That doesn't mean sometimes you have to take advantage of this. I've seen on like nature channels or whatever, where these guys are smart enough where they, a seal or something, the circle of life, it's got its, hardships for us to watch, but there'll be a seal or some animal on a iceberg, and they'll kind of knock the water to cause it to flip it over, and then they'll eat it. That is teamwork, making the dream work. That is thinking sharply. That is taking advantage of their surroundings, right? We have to use our third eye unobstructed, clear-mindedness, right? Ace of Swords, and have new designs for approaching and apprehending reality. Saturn conjunct Venus in Aquarius. We have to really kind of hack, like Neo dodged the bullets. There's this great rap line that's like, be able to dodge the bullets, what is it? Be able to dodge bullets like the Matrix, or take 6. So I forget who said that, but it was great. We have to really kind of re-engineer our minds in order to see the beneficence and plenty around us. We really do have everything we ever needed or wanted. In this case, maybe the sailors have signed up for death or whatever. Their karma's done. Their path is ended, but the Kraken is getting a whole good meal. Just like when we watch the seals get killed by the killer whale, like, oh, the seals. Like, well, they have to eat too. They have to eat 200 kilograms of food a day, it would seem. But we really do just need to kind of rewire our brains, rewire our perspective, third eye, in order to see that everything is awesome at all times, in a very Lego movie way. Everything is awesome, right? Singing a song about it, even song lines, and knowing that we're the crest of novelty. The present moment is like the sharpest edge of the blade. We're there, and we have to be able to perceive that. So it's both like an emotional kind of awareness of like, I am exactly where I need to be at all times. I'm on the top of the pyramid at all times, even if it doesn't feel that way. Capricorn moon, North Node in Taurus, the universe wants to provide for me. But that doesn't mean there's no work involved. Saturn and Venus conjunct in Aquarius is like, you got to use your head and know your damn role, as The Rock would say. And in perspective, it's like, it's taken a lot of momentum to get you here. How are you going to pay it forward? How are you going to keep us on going? So the hexagram, the I Ching hexagram we're getting is number 54. Studio 54 was highly prevalent in Andy Warhol's life at one point. Like I was saying, I watched that documentary last night. And gotta say, I don't, maybe going there once would have been interesting, but I don't think that would have been my scene. A little too much. The subordinated is this. And subordination, dominance, kind of these energies, feeling like a victim on a Saturn's day with Moon in Capricorn. We could be at shadow levels, South Node in Scorpio, feeling like a victim at some level. Mercury conjunct Neptune loosely in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces. We could feel like the sailors in this boat. We're like, holy shit, did I sign up for this? It's actually 9 of Cups. It's like, actually, yes, you did. Your mission is over, sir or ma'am. So, subordination, or the subordinated. This sign refers to a situation in which you must show tact and proceed with extreme caution. Swords up, right? At the ready. There's a Kraken in these waters. It is open your eye, right? Open your third eye. It is an appropriate time to think about traditional values. North Node in Taurus. It is also traditional values, which so often go unrecognized in our time. One of the disadvantages, I guess, of the age of Aquarius is it's so novel and so fresh and so new that we don't even know how to like grow our own food, or heritage heirloom seeds and stuff. They're being harder to find and stuff. So it's like, we're just like, I want NFTs. I don't want to know where my food grows. It's like, have a traditional kind of understanding too. Both and simultaneity. Viewed correctly, you have lost none of your worth, right? 9 of Cups, North Node in Taurus. You're exactly where you need to be. Plenty is abounding. Adaptability, modesty, humility, and consideration are really good qualities. If you cannot or won't find these abilities, you run an increased danger that no one is interested in your opinions and views. The things you still believe to have under your control could slip from your grasp quicker than you think. Like Sedna's fingers over the canoe being cut off by her dad, some Capricorn moon shit. Your situation could go from bad to worse if you're not what? Adaptable, very Ace of Swords. Modest, I'm trying to correlate that. I guess Saturn conjunct Venus, kind of modesty. Humility and consideration. The things you still believe to have under control could slip from your grasp quicker than you think. With loving and selfless support and some tactful reserve, you reinforce your position, even if it might at first seem that you are denying yourself something. And that is some Saturn's day energy, denial of, Moon and Capricorn. It's like, I'm not going to eat for a week so I can talk to God, or, I'm going to take a portion of my every meal so I have an extra meal at the end of the week. That is some Saturn and Moon shit. And maybe it's for the right reasons, North Node in Aquarius at some level. North Node in Taurus. Maybe you think you're going to bring more value to your plate. But with the subordinated, you know, they never had to go into these here waters necessarily, right, with the Kraken. But like I'm trying to say, ultimately, this is the clarifier. We're going into new realms, and it's all good. I'm just kind of using the art as an inspiration. So it's like, it's not actually a bad cup. Nine of Cups is not a bad card. The song lines. The song remains the same as Led Zeppelin would say, but, you know, every new moment is a new musical chair. So keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open to what? How to be humble, how to be advantageous, how to use the environment around you to your highest ability. Ultimately, strategizing, right, and hacking reality in order that you can sing your song of Thra, is what they would say in Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. It's like you have a song, you are a song, essentially, of what? Total success and adaptability and all these things that have got you here. That's why you're here at all. I mean, it takes lots of generations to get you here. Moon in Capricorn, North Node in Taurus. And what are we doing with that? How are we leading forward? Are you being so cocky like you're a little Joffrey and very immature with your mind? Or are you being respectful of the past and aware of the traditional values and knowing your value within the whole of creation? That's really kind of the point. Because yes, you are an individual, but yes, you are part of the whole. Can you see both? Last card of the day is a crystal card. Let me just put this I Ching deck down. You can quantumly entangle with this because that's just the nature of the game in this holographic dream universe we're in. It's epic. And it's not just me talking woo-woo. It's like science is like, oh no, everything is quantumly entangled to some degree. So we are getting, ooh, this is some interesting looking stone. We got chrysocolla. That is very beautiful. I'm partial to greens myself. Green and oranges are my jam. So chrysocolla is what it is. Chrysocolla forms near copper ore deposits, hence its wavy blue-green swirls left behind by the oxidized metal. Like other materials associated with copper, think telephone wires, chrysocolla opens up channels of clear communication, right? We can see clearly when our channel of thought, communication, and our song lines are open and clear. Who needs it? Anyone entangled in the 24/7 fear cycle propagated by the politico-media complex. Very apropos for today. And media delusions and lies and manipulation, false flags, kind of that kind of stuff. Psyoping. That's very Jupiter, Mercury, and Neptune and Pisces stuffs. Just so we all know. Those who can never find the right words, right? When you're not sure what to say, you're almost like Ariel when she's giving away her voice. We've got to tap into the voice we have proudly, Ace of Swords, boldly, Aries Sun, with this chrysocolla. Where to put it? Hold it to your high heart and breathe. When to use it? When you feel small and vulnerable and are looking for someone to parent you, Moon in Capricorn. But then you remember that you are a grown-up, but it's cool because you totally got this. That's the Moon in Capricorn shit. It's like, I'm on top of the wave. I know how to surf, but I wish I had an instruction manual to do it better. But I'm going to get this because I'm smart and savvy and I've got everything I really need. I'm adaptable. I'm and I'm going to the new ideas in order to surf the wave proper. Be your own mama. That is some Moon in Capricorn shit, if I ever heard it. So, chrysocolla is telling us to be our own mama. We have to understand our place in the world and sing gratitude towards it. Sometimes we have to be adaptable in such a way that, humility is not a bad thing. Know that the place you find yourself as the clarifier with the Nine of Cups, you're exactly where you need to be and you have everything you ever thought you ever needed. But are you perceiving it properly? Are you looking at it with the right mind? Ace of Swords, this, are you seeing clearly or are you seeing in a lack mentality? That doesn't mean lack doesn't exist, but it's like you could hack it, Saturn conjunct Venus in Aquarius, to make yourself have value no matter what the situation. North Node in Taurus. So, tap into chrysocolla, be your own mama, pick yourself up by the seat of your pants, do the thing, Saturn's day, right? But also have these kind of softer qualities about you in order for you to really see the profound beauty and options around you with fresh eyes, with fresh perspective, with new thoughts, new revolutionary kind of thinking. Aquarius, Mars, Venus, and Saturn. The world is yours, but you have to see it that way, right? Pluto and Capricorn. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, leave a tip. I'd definitely appreciate it. Share, like, subscribe, whatever's clever. Tag a person who might benefit from this. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We are almost at 300 episodes, and it's amazing. We had Kai Poch on recently. These are long-form conversations with the people that I admire and think are cool, artists, philosophers, astrologers, people who make decks, Stacey DeMarco, etc. Starman Tarot deck guy, like I was saying, he has been on a few times. So we've got 275 episodes-ish, and that's awesome. So check that shit out if you haven't. Hit me up for a reading. $33 for an hour of cards, $88 for 3 hours of astrology, $111 for both. And yeah, on this Saturn's Day, we really do need to be just opening our eyes to the wonder of responsibility. Christ Cola, the responsibility of seeing afresh, knowing exactly where we are is exactly where we need to be, and appreciating the past for what it is that it got us here. Sometimes we have to kind of take, subordinate ourselves, I guess you say, submit yourself to the Tao and say, wow, we out here, we're doing it. And it's a privilege and a responsibility simultaneously. Rights and privileges come with responsibility. You don't just get rights for nothing. You're not just like, well, I'm a man, so I get to do this. It's like, well, it doesn't quite work like that. So anyway, hopefully you all enjoy your day, your Saturn's Day, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Adios. Bye.